Very good evening. Welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk, a program where we highlight political issues concerning Nigeria. And tonight, I'm excited on the program, right? It's been interesting conversations that we'll be having tonight about Osun State's politics and what is happening. And interestingly, to be joining us is the SA to the governor of Osun State on legislative matter, my friend, who will be joining us to help make sense of the discussion concerning Governor Ademola Adeleke. And also, we'll be talking to the AAC, African Action Congress, newly elected publicity secretary, all right, who will also be joining us live in the studio this evening. Let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll get straight to our discussions for tonight. Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Tonight on the program, we'll be speaking to the newly elected National Publicity Secretary of the AAC, that's the African Action Congress, and also to some developments that we had earlier today in Osun State. We have joining us the SA to the governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, on legislative matters. Let's talk about Osun State's politics and what is going on. The governor Ademola Adeleke, today, 2nd of December, we saw him formally resigning his membership of the People's Democratic Party. But from the resignation later, we saw it was dated November the 4th, 2025. And even as of yesterday, the reports we got from that state was that the governor will not be leaving. But at this time, we can confirm that the governor of Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke, has left the party and may be seeking re-election on the platform of different political parties. So let's see if we can bring in our brother Adeleke Adekunle Akin, who's joined us from Osun State tonight. That's our first guest for the program. Can you hear me, Adekunle? All right, so while we try to bring him, I think he can't hear me at this moment. We have the brand new Publicity Secretary of the AAC, who is live with us.
Hello.
In Abuja studio. Adekunle, I can hear you. I'll get back to you, but let me get to Mr. Rex in the studio. A very good evening to you.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
How has it been?
Well, it's been as it has been. Struggle has always been on, and the struggle continues. I think the only thing that has changed is I'm back to your studio as the new policy secretary of our party, the African Action Congress. And the struggle continues. Our oppressors haven't repented. Our socioeconomic conditions haven't improved. The AAC has not stopped speaking on behalf of the Nigerian people. So nothing has really changed. I think what needs to change is our approach towards it. Nigerians need to join up what we're doing and demand the Nigeria that we deserve.
We'll talk a lot about AAC, but let me see if we can have Akin now. Akin, are you with us? Can you hear me now? Okay. So we saw on Sunday you had your convention. Saturday, rather. You had your convention, and we saw names that came out. And one of the names that we saw was the name of Omoyele Sowore as the chairman of your party. And some Nigerians, as I went on social media, and people were saying, is that democratic? He's been presidential candidate of the party in 2023, who was presidential candidate in 2019, and chairman of the party. He's been chairman before of the party. Is it democratic?
Well, that's a very important question. Is it democratic? And I'll tell you, yes, it is democratic. You see, it's a decision of the party members. It's not like Sowore imposed himself on the party. It's the party members who are even insisting. I feel, to an extent, we even breach his own fundamental human rights. Because after what we've been through as the African Action Congress, you recall that immediately after the 2019 elections, we had, in fact, a terrible attack on the party. The party was hijacked by state actors, collaboration with all their cronies. And it took us 3 years to get full control of our party back. So the members, AAC members, still have, this bitter taste and bitter experience in their taste buds, and they're not even willing to risk for any reason. So as much as we have, a lot of competent people too, who can stand up to be chairman, none of them is even willing to come out because it's an odious task, it's real uphill task that they know that, Baba, you have to be there. And a lot of our party members insisted, voted for him unopposed. So it's democratic. If it wasn't democratic, then I won't even be here in the first place because I don't think I can align myself with dictatorship. That's what we're fighting today as the African Action Congress. We're fighting for institutions to work. And what happened on Saturday was not just a convention. It was also an example for the rest of the political parties in Nigeria. Not the chair was broken. No one threw any slap there. Unlike what we saw in the PDP that looked like WrestleMania. In the AAC, we had, varying opinions over different positions or position of the party or state of the party, but at the end of the day, you could see democracy in play. INEC were impressed. It was an opportunity for them to even learn what true democracy should look like. So when people say he was the chairman before, it's the chairman, and it's the chairman on the decision of majority, if not 100% of party members.
Right, so but let's look at, maybe let me bring a scenario from a neighboring country, Cameroon, where we saw the president, Paul Biya. He's been president for quite many years, and some persons will argue that he is voted by the people because the people want him to be Cameroon's president, and some persons say no, he's been there for far too long. Is there like how far the people could say you take over the position, or you're like a conflict of interest, maybe somewhat, because maybe you could confirm to us if Sowore will be coming, trading into the House for Nigeria's presidency in 2027. Maybe he may. So is that not a little bit of conflict of interest?
You see, if you want to really know the truth of the matter, in any situation, the voice of the people always speaks the truth. Not what the media, sometimes state actors, when someone like Paul Biya will always use his state machineries in the press to, tell you that the people want him. But when you go to the streets and hear from the people, you realize that they are tired of his, dictatorship. Is there anybody in the AAC you've seen complaining that we don't want Sowore as our national chairman? No. If you go down to the streets, anywhere in our party, within the ESCOs, within members, our revolutionary members, everybody's so happy and excited. You needed to be in the hall to see the cheer, and as if we won World Cup. Now, let's take a look at South Africa. Let's take a look at Uganda. In Uganda, the NUP has Bobi Wine as their presidential candidate. Bobi Wine is also the leader of their party. And nobody in the NUP is complaining that Bobi Wine is dictatorial, because they were the ones who, elected him in there to represent their interests. Being so sure that his character and personality and the capacity he has is enough for them in that scope of leadership. Look at the EFF in South Africa, Julius Malema. He's the same leader of the party. He's the president of their party. So it's about the people's mandate. And why you see people complaining today about the Tinubu regime is because even the Tinubu regime understands that they lack legitimacy. Go down to the streets and see how people didn't even vote for the president who's the commander-in-chief today.
But people also voted.
Yeah, people also voted. But you see, in a democracy, the majority is supposed to be the reflection of victory, not a minority forcing down their decision, down the throats of the majority. And that's what's happening in Nigeria today. That's why there's social injustice everywhere. When you come into office by the mandate of the people, you are morally bound to the people because their interests have been invested in you. And it's become a responsibility. But when you find your way in there by manipulation, it's most likely that you want to strengthen your machineries for manipulating the next one. Not even interested in, improving the lives of the people or meeting their demands or their interests or having a government that represents their interests. So that's what's happening today in Nigeria. And I can tell you for sure that the AAC is so happy and pleased to have Omoyele Sowore. I wonder if he's as happy as us because we almost forced him into it. And he understands why. That we need such leadership now that we are sure of. Look at what happened in the LP. Look at what's happening around. A lot of Nigerians who are, shouting that, this one, the Tinubu regime bought the LP, Abure has compromised, this one has compromised, and all those allegations. It's because people know that very few people have been able to overcome materialism. And that's why someone like Omoyele Sowore has been able to exist in the last 3.5 decades. If he had been somewhat like these ones who run after money, material things, he would have been compromised long ago. And they will come to a point where one of his godfathers will say, hey, stand down or stop it. Take it easy, calm down, shut up, All
right, so one of the things that I thought about when I saw him being announced as the chairman of the party was the fact that we know that Sowore loves hitting the streets over various issues. Is that like the courage of a chairman? Because if we put him pair by pair with other chairmen of other political parties, at least a few of them that I've spoken to, you see how the courage, the charisma, the personality, because you are a chairman and there should be some form of like a dignified position. Does Sowore carry those traits?
I'm sure you're talking of the kind of courage of Ganduje, who was caught live on camera pocketing money. or you're talking about the courage of, which of them, call their names, which of the chairmen do you want to call? You see, we are different, and thank God you have identified that Showore is not like them. We're a revolutionary party. We're not here to just play what they call politics is a game. Even if it's a game, it shouldn't be a game that decimates its people, denigrates them, strips off humanity from them, keeps them in insecurity and poverty. So we are a party that is focused on our main goal, which is total liberation of Nigeria and Africa at large. So we are starting from Nigeria, and we know that if Nigeria is liberated, Bobi Wine and Malema won't be suffering what they are suffering in the hands of some of those their own oppressors they have over there. But what I'm trying to say is that Showore is not out for any courage or any show or any posture that looks executive. He's out for justice, social justice for the Nigerian people. And when you see him on the street, it's not because it pays to be, there's no comfort on the streets. There's no comfort in staying in detention centers or being arrested or dragged to court. We were in court today by the DSS, who dragged him for calling Tinubu a criminal. But we can see what Nigeria has turned into and the kind of people he pardons in his own group of drug barons and criminals. So, but the point is, our party is different from every other party. And that's the reason why, at this point, every Nigerian who's hungry for justice, who's hungry for the kind of Nigeria that we've always, dreamed of, the one that gives us equal opportunities to our dreams, they should start clicking on the AAC website immediately. Because, you see, together, the strength of the people, the Nigerian people, will be in our numbers. And as it is, there are a lot of us in our millions. Already they've said over 139 million people living in multidimensional poverty. So if 139 million people are already united in poverty, then what stops us from being united in our voices to demand that Nigeria? And politically, the easiest way to do that is to join a revolutionary party that represents your interests. Are you a student? We're talking about education as a right for Nigerian children. We're talking about students, study grants, not loans that they are giving them this time around. Are you a farmer? We're talking about agriculture that has the Fulani herdsmen who are taking cows around, or for so many reasons they say herdsmen, farmers clashes. We're talking of having ranches where we can even use the dungs of cow for biogas.
Right. So a lot of things.
I'm just
projects of the party. Right?
Yeah. The AAC is the only voice today that stands on the side of the people.
Right. So other political parties also mentioned to that. But let's see if we can try and bring in guests to join us from Osun State. Akin, can you hear me now? I'm still having difficulties connecting with us. Maybe we'll have to switch to a phone call to actually have him join us, discuss Osun State politics. Let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we still have the National Publicity Secretary of the AAC, the African Action Congress, and we'll be trying to see how we can talk about Osun State at the time as we hook up with the SA2, the governor on legislative duties. What is happening with Governor Ademola Adeleke? Some just during the PDP convention, we saw, I followed that convention and I covered the PDP. He was a chairman of one of the subcommittees, right? And just a few days, they say because of the issues that the party have, and the governor is afraid I may be rejected, like what happened in Zamfara. What are the issues? These are some of the things we'll also be talking about. And the AAC, what plans do they have for Nigeria moving forward? Are they different from the PDP, the APC? Every other political party say they are different, all right? We'll come back after this break. Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Agbo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Very numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists. Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Welcome back to the program. Tonight on the show, we're looking at the African Action Congress and their last concluded convention that drew up national leaders for the party. And we have the National Publicity Secretary, Rex Elan, who's joined us live in our Abuja studio. So, Rex, how long is this tenure going to last?
It's going to last as long as our constitution stipulates.
Okay.
So, for this election, you can be sure that this ESCO is going to be there throughout. And the reason I'm saying this is because we are back and we're back in full. You recall that the last time our party was under siege, and just a week to when the primaries was going to be closed was when we got back our party from the Supreme Court. So this time around, this new ESCO is like a rebirth for our party. And we're coming out this time, not just to do the normal politicking, but to ensure that Nigerians identify the party that represents their common interests and support the party wholeheartedly to liberate Nigeria together. It's not going to be an election like they've curated already. You know, I said that because when you look at the machineries in place, you know, our president has appointed over 11, I think about 11 Supreme Court judges. You just need about 7 of them to decide the presidential election case. The president has appointed someone to manage the election, the INEC, who are supposed to be election umpires. And so they are supposed to be independent. But I can tell you Amupiton is his appointee. The president has retained one of the most incompetent heads of our security organization, that's the IGP, Egbetoku, who was supposed to have left the police force since last year. He has been kept, of course, you know, is keeping him to secure grounds for him towards the election. So you can see that that's why a lot of his kind of contemporaries in politics are panicking and jumping around in the ADC, because they've seen that there's not going to be any free and fair election, as there was never one before, because it's always been selection. But they can see that this time around, it's going to be run in a way that they will be cheated hands down without being able to complain. But we in the AAC are not, you know, bothered about their kind of politics, because that's not what we're going to be playing. We're not going to be doing the conventional politics of going and paying people to fill up stadiums, chant some slogans, appoint some people, share some monies that have been looted from the state to get people in the name of structures. We are going to be talking to the Nigerian people the truth about their situation. And this time around, it's easier for us because Nigeria hasn't even gotten better. Killings, the insecurity has become overwhelming.
But recently, we've seen some level of improvement with the government.
I would like to know where can you state where?
Insecurity.
Insecurity. Level of improvements. I wonder if you're in Nigeria with us. There's been kidnapping everywhere. Recently, the CNS people at Kogi, is it the Kebbi or the Niger? Which one is
the Kebbi case you talk about?
The fact that the government even comes to you and said that we rescued from people and they've returned back, and nobody was arrested, nobody was killed, nothing happened. It shows you the kind of rescue mission they do. It's a negotiation rescue mission. So this government is not serious about, look at the people. Do you need the US to tell you that Matawale shouldn't be your Minister for State of Defense? So you see, we are not serious about holding our leaders responsible, and that's where the AAC comes in, to conscientize, awaken the consciousness of Nigerians. You know, our complicity, our silence over time has emboldened these guys to go to the point where people who have evident, you know, relationships with terrorists, who have, you know, facilitated them with vehicles, monies and whatever, are rewarded with positions to handle the defense of Nigeria. People who have, you know, done so much to be in jail or be in courtrooms are being given ambassadorial nomination. I'm surprised that he didn't even nominate MC Oluomo for ambassador. So it's a reward system that rewards impunity, that rewards corruption, that rewards everything that is destroying our country today. And we must rise up. Nothing is going to change if we don't rise, I tell you the truth. And it's an easy way to rise by the ballot.
Right. So how do you get people to become members of your party? And do you have a database as to how many members you have at the moment? Because at the last election, we saw a political party that was relatively unknown. That's the Labour Party at the time. Yeah, they've been here, won some governorship election, but the level of support they got was unprecedented, maybe because of Peter Obi was a member of the party. Should we be expecting something like that from the AAC moving into 2027?
You should be expecting more than that. You know why I say this to you? Because at this point in time, politics is not going to be just one game that comes in every 4 years. It's going to be, you know, an avenue for Nigerians to liberate themselves from long-age suffering, decades of political slavery. How can we be in 2025 and people are not even safe in their farms or in their churches? We're not even talking of electricity, power that we don't have in Nigeria, or we're talking of the major source of energy, which is fuel, that it has become so expensive. Subsidy was removed. And recently I saw a report of how many billion was spent on subsidy. They only framed another different name for it and called it petroleum security something. I can't remember what it is. But you see that the Nigerian people have...
That's the pipeline protection.
Nigeria has come to a point where Nigerians can no longer play the conventional politics that keeps them enslaved. It's time for them to come out. And it's very easy for them to identify those who are standing for them. Look at the battles, the struggles, the agitations and advocacies we've been engaging from the last election. Are you talking of the demolitions in Oworo-Shoki, where Nigerians who built houses from the little they have, that government never supported, had their houses burnt down by government, beaten, arrested, jailed for protesting against illegal demolitions in their own community. So we've been engaged, and the Nigerian people do not need so much to know who's fighting on their behalf. We've been engaged in so many pro-people, you know, struggles, and it's what we represent. Going forward, why do we have to be protesting to do very simple things when we can have leadership that draws out policies that addresses even much more than those things we are agitating for? So we should stop, you know, it's time Nigerians should realize that the channel for freedom now is the African Action Congress. And I was on a show some days ago, and while we were on the show, so many people were clicking on our websites to become a member. That shows you that the Nigerian people are no longer interested in this culture of 4 years politics that keeps them enslaved. The best they get sometimes is 10 or 15,000 when their votes are bought. So you can be sure that what we are coming with is not just within our powers, it's within the powers of the Nigerian people who are oppressed, who are tired, and who are ready to rise and demand the Nigeria that we deserve.
All right, so we'll talk about it because some Nigerians say that the AAC participated in the 2020 election, and immediately after the election, we saw them also hitting the streets again, calling for protest and all of that. And people said you were part of the process. So Nigerians could talk about the fact that is this party having is it about what somebody thinks? Is it about a particular person? Is it just about maybe built around a particular person and not a party that is nationally inclined? Do you have people from all over Nigeria or just handpicked by Omoyele Sowore? But I'd like to ask you that. But I'm hearing that we have joining us from Osun State because this is also a very important national conversation. I'll be calling him now to see if he can join us. Let's have the conversation about the governor who, until recently, was a part of the PDP at the time, and as at the moment, I've gotten to have information that he has left the PDP. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good evening, sir.
All right, thank you so much. He's the SA to Akin, is the SA to the Osun State Governor on legislative matters. Thank you so much for taking our time to join us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's talk about your governor. Yesterday we saw the governor, Ademola Adeleke, resigning from the PDP. Is it something you knew in-house, the cabinet you already knew was leaving? Because even before last night, I spoke with the PDP, one of the national state leaders, working committee leaders, and he told me that the party is solidly behind Governor Ademola Adeleke. That's the PDP. So is it something you saw coming? What led to the governor resigning?
Thank you for having me. You will see that the letter was dated November 4th. So it's a decision that has been taken long before now. It is not a new decision. It is not what we are not privy of. We are privy to everything that happens. The fact that the governor is leaving, and the governor is not just leaving because he wants to leave the PDP. He made consultation to the people of Osun State. He made consultation with the leaders of the party, I mean the PDP. And every one of us advised him that it is better for him to continue the mandate of doing good to Osun State people. Because at the moment, everyone is enjoying it. Every Osun indigene. And those living in Osun, generally, are enjoying the government of Senator Ademola Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke. And we want him to continue his administration till 2030. And contesting under the platform of the PDP at this particular hour is like embarking on a suicide mission. So in order to avoid that, we all, including the PDP State Working Committee, advised the governor to leave the party. So it is a thing that everybody is aware of. It is a thing that the State Working Committee of the PDP are aware of. It is a thing that Osun indigenes are aware of. So it is not the governor doing his will, because he will ask me, while other governors were reporting, why did Adeleke took so long, despite the fact that...
But we had rumors that it was rejected by the APC at the time.
That was a lie. Who will reject a sitting governor? Who was wooed by the president to come to the party. And when he came back, he tabled it to Osun people. My governor will not act impulsively. Before he can take any decision, he's going to seek public opinion. It is a practice, it is a normal practice in Osun to seek public opinion. And immediately he sought people's opinion. What they told him is, if he should try and contest under this party, and it is not PDP, if he should contest under APC, they are going to turn against him. You will recall that in the last election, Osun did a revolutionary vote. They kicked APC out of all elective positions. All our 30 House of Assembly members are PDP. The 3 senators are for PDP. The 9 House of Rep members are for PDP. Until this, our senator starts porting to APC. Osun does not have any APC elected official. So that is to tell you that Osun people are done with this party, and that's why we are moving.
Okay, Akin, we're still talking about the decision of your governor to move to, at this moment, move to which other party that we don't know. But let's still stay with the moral question that people want to ask. Getting a ticket on a platform of a political party. Yes, you could say you funded the election, but we know that the party supported a lot, and we don't have independent candidature in Nigeria. Is it proper and is it moral to move with that ticket and cross carpet to any other political party?
No, this is it. Everything he's doing is making consultation. As of now, it is what his consultation has gotten him, and that is why what he's doing at the moment. I kid you not, you are going to see before the end of this week, an announcement is going to come out of where we are going. But I can tell you categorically that we are not going to the All Progressive Congress, neither are we going to the Pan Democratic Congress.
All right, so we take that from you, Governor Adeleke. That could be one of our news story. Governor Adeleke is not moving to APC.
Neither is it moving to ADC.
Okay, so ADC is not in the picture.
It is not.
All right, so which political party is it going to at the moment?
I will not mention it until the governor himself come out and make it public. So for now, in fact, the rumors are going around, and the rumor seems to be true. But I am not going to mention the party until the governor has made it official. So until my principal makes it official, the rest of us, we are still having our mouth shut, because we are still, as at this moment, consulting Osun people.
Right, so we're still talking about the PDP. I know you're on that PDP group, and you've seen what the PDP went ahead to announce Adebayo as the winner of the PDP primaries in Osun State. Are you bothered about that?
That is not the PDP. That is Seyi Makinde doing his shenanigans.
Seyi Makinde, that's the governor of Oyo State.
As at the day the form closed, for the two factions, got me anywhere, for the two factions, both the Wike faction and what's it called? The Turaki-led faction and the other faction of Wike, nobody except for Senator Ademola Jackson Oludin Adeleke picked up governorship tickets.
Right.
Nobody. So what? Now that Seyi Makinde now came out of his of wherever he is hiding or whatever he's doing, and then brought people from Oyo State to come and vote in Osun State. There are videos flying out in my state at the moment. We have arrested more than 150 people today who are not from Osun that came to vote in Osun, and we are trying them to court immediately by tomorrow. So this thing they did that they call primary is unknown to us, and it is unknown to the PDP. The state chairman of the PDP said it yesterday in a press statement that PDP is not feeding any candidate. If the state chairman can say he is not feeding any candidate, who is now that person feeding another candidate?
Right, so
who is that person that
I want to let you go. I want to let you go, my very good friend Akin. But before I let you go, are you scared that Governor Nuruddin Ademola Adeleke, the dancing governor,